Hey guys, it's Andrea, the South African girl living in Canada. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm really excited. I'm talking to Dr. Daniela Steyn, and we're going to be talking about specific medical issues related to the stress and trauma of immigration. And we're going to be doing a 3-part series, so I am excited to chat to her today. So awesome. It is so great to have you. Welcome, Daniela. It's so great to be in your home.
Thank you, Andrea, and thanks for having me on your show. This is so exciting. I've been following you for such a long time. My sister, everyone follows you. So it's so exciting to have this with you. Thanks.
Fabulous. It's wonderful. And you know, I think for me, it's just so great whenever it's like, I don't know if it's a South African thing, but when you find a doctor, you latch onto a doctor because they're like the guru of everything. They know everything. So it's going to be so great today. I think what I wanted to get into was really just understanding more, you know, our followers want to know who you are. So I know that Daniela is a lifelong, long-distance runner. She's a triathlete and actually is part of Team Canada, which is amazing. But not only is she just amazing that way, she's a medical doctor. I would love to hear more about that and just more about what brought you to Canada. Tell us about your journey.
Yeah, so I'm a family physician. I trained in South Africa. And then after my internship, community service, I came to Canada. We were young, married, without kids, and adventurers. We wanted to explore, and we still believe the world is our oyster. And we wanted to go everywhere, see everything. I didn't realize, though, that working in different countries and having to register takes a lot of time. The same process that you went through to immigrate. It is quite a big process. And in South Africa, we used to say, oh, we'll like go barefoot across Drakensberg. And that's what we said coming here. This is like crossing the mountains barefoot every time when you go through a heap of paperwork. So the same immigration process that has everyone stressed, you know, we quickly realized that we can't be doing that in every different country. So Canada was our first country, and then we kind of stopped and decided we'll just travel, go on holidays to all the other countries.
Perfect.
Let's work in one. And even though we were able to explore Canada, I worked in British Columbia, in Alberta, throughout Ontario, in rural places and cities, and it really gave me that joy. So what drew me to becoming a doctor was people. I love people, I love their journeys, understand where they're coming from, where they're going. The whole healing process is when people get diagnosed with an illness, everyone sees that illness different, experience the illness different, depending on your socio-economic status, your cultural values, your personal belief system, and to see how people, even in different areas in Canada, whether you're on a farm, whether you're inner city, whether you're privileged, whether you're a very low socio-economic status, how you experience health different, illness different, and to journey with people through that. I really enjoyed that journey.
Wow, it's incredible. I actually never really thought of it that way. I saw when I was looking at your bio and checking you out that you were part of, is it the Arizona University? So what is your involvement there?
Yes, so I'm really drawn to functional medicine. In South Africa, we're more familiar with herbs and plants as part of your healing process. Whereas in Canada, not as much. Our medical teaching was very just Western medicine. So if patients want to not use Western medicine, they want to use herbs, they have to go to a naturopath. And my desire was really to bridge the two, to be a medical doctor, but to say, okay, you don't want to use medicine. You can use herbs, but these are the herbs that are safe, that has been proven. You know, these are the lifestyle strategies. So I did more training at the Institute of Integrative Medicine, and that's at the University of Arizona, as well as the Institute of Functional Medicine, which is functional medicine. It's all scientific-based, evidence-based medicine, but which is not pharma-driven. So no pharmaceuticals. It's really nature, lifestyle.
Gee, amazing. That is so cool. And I think that's really up my alley, because it kind of brings me to my next point, is that when people go through trauma, which is one of them is immigration. I mean, we talk about immigration being on the same level as getting divorced or experiencing death, losing somebody. And we've all immigrated. The guys and you that are watching this video, you know what it feels like, or you're in the process of moving. It's not for sissies. And so what I wanted to maybe ask you today, if you could help us, it would be so great, is that traumatic experience and just going through immigration, what tips could you give people in terms of either, I don't know, how to avoid it, or even what to do when you've moved, you know, things to just think about as you go through any kind of trauma or immigration?
First, I'd like to advise our viewers to get help. I think we often feel that we have to just power on. I made this choice, so I have to suck up the consequences.
Yeah.
But I think it's critical to get help wherever you are, to reach out, make sure that you speak to your doctor, that you get professional help. That's step one, first and foremost. Then after you've gotten professional help, there are so many things that you can do to improve your quality of life. First is to be aware, to have this discussion that we're having, not to just power through, because if you just power through, at a certain point your body is going to say no. Because you with your mind go through the whole process, and at a certain point your body says, but I can't cope with all the stress, even though your mind thought you could. And that's when we start having health conditions. So to recognize it, to sit down, a very good way we can do that is to journal. Because when you journal, that gives you an objective way to look at, not just to say, oh, this is horrible, this country is horrible, but to say, what in today was horrible, and then to find something in today that was good.
Oh, great.
Because there is that good in every day, even in the most horrible, even in the hardest, even if your qualifications in this new country means nothing. So you have to study again, you have to do everything again. And we often just see our negatives and our mountains, but to be intentional and to go find those positives. And then when I've worked with people who's gone through this severe trauma, whatever it would be, losing a loved one or immigrating, I help them to rewrite their narrative, because your narrative is really what determines where you're going to end up. If you see yourself as a victim, because my husband decided he wants to immigrate, and I had an awesome job, and I had a beautiful big house, and I had a good lifestyle, and you're really a victim, you won't end up in the same spot than someone who has a more victorious mindset, who says, I am in control, and I'm going to do things, I'm going to make friends, I'm going to widen my circle of
put myself out there,
beliefs. Exactly. So that's the biggest thing, to rewrite your own narrative.
I love that. It's amazing that you say that, because I often even say that with my kids and with people that I speak to, is you really have the choice to wake up and decide how you're going to do this.
You do.
And that kind of mindset is just so important. Great.
And you speak life over you, or you speak death over you. If you wake up every morning and, oh, life is horrible, and these winter boots are so heavy, you're going to have a horrible day.
Exactly. And I think even to that point of, like, with children struggle with narrative. They don't have the maturity where we at. So we've got to help our kids with that as well. It's like, hey guys, it's an adventure. This is what we're going to do. And it's kind of this whole positive vibe around this narrative.
And parents who bring their kids to me with anxiety to treat the kids' anxiety, because I'm fine, just treat the kids' anxiety as I'm journeying with them through it. It's really the parents' anxiety and they're just mirroring the parents' emotions.
Wow.
So it's really to first manage the parents' emotion. One thing that really helps, that I would advise all of you to do, if you are in this new country, if it is horrible, is to get out there and to move.
Yes.
That is something that has a lot of science behind it, and it's ecotherapy. That is to get out in nature. They've done these big studies here in Toronto where they took kids with ADHD and they let the kids walk in the morning. The one half of the kids just buildings and the other half of the kids between trees. And the kids that walked between trees score better on their exams, on testing.
Amazing.
Their mood was better controlled. They were less hyperactive during the day just by walking through woods. And then they did a similar study for adults. I'm also a professor at McMaster University.
Oh, wow.
Yes, in Hamilton.
Nice.
And there we've done a study on hypertension, and an age group of people 50 to 70 years old, and two groups of people. It was actually more. One group no exercise, one exercise between the houses, and then one in the forest between trees. And then the group of people who would go for a walk between trees, their blood pressure would be lower. All their health outcomes is better. And we have this privilege here in Canada to have this woods and forest and nature.
So true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to take advantage of that and to go for that walk every day, it will be a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, oh man, I'm just so grateful. I am so happy that we're speaking, because this is my thing. This is what I want to hear. And I think the followers and people that are watching this is going to be so useful for them. So I believe that you are off and you're going to go and exercise and do your thing with Team Canada. Tell us about what's happening.
Yes, so I'm so grateful for that and super privileged. So I just won a specific race 3 years ago, and for winning that race, I got a spot onto Team Canada. And because I've never competed for South Africa, I am allowed to compete for Team Canada. So the only rule is you have to be a Canadian citizen, but then you also, if you ever competed for another country, then you couldn't. But because I never competed at this level for South Africa, I am allowed to. I'm very excited about that. That's going to be this weekend in Montreal, the Triathlon World Championships. I'll be competing in my age group. And I'm so grateful for the privilege and the opportunity to go. It's the biggest moment for me.
Isn't it amazing? I actually look at this, I go freezing cold. I'm so excited. Can we watch you on TV? Where can we find you?
I'm not sure yet. Okay. But I will make sure on my Instagram that I'll have loads and loads of videos on my Instagram when we do the Parade of the Nations and everything. I'll post on Instagram.
I am so honored. That's fantastic. So I think please check out the description in the YouTube channel. You'll get all of Daniela's details. Follow her on Instagram. Follow her on Facebook. And she's just got so many tips and advice, but also she has her own YouTube channel. So please go and follow her. I'll put all the details in the description. You can check it out. Daniela, thank you so much for today. I've really appreciated the time with you. And I think this content is going to be so good and so helpful to so many.
Good. Thanks, Andrea. And I look forward to seeing our listeners in the next video, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Dig a little bit deeper.
Fantastic. Good. Thank you. So if you like what you saw and you found this was useful, which I'm sure you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get updates on all of the videos. So join us for the next 2 YouTube videos where we dig deeper. I can't wait to see you then.